The Critshow contains elements of horror, fantasy violence, and adult language. Content warnings can be found in the episode description.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to The Critshow, where we are playing the Clockwinders. Last time, our heroes, having entered the Forgotten Fortress, encountered the enigmatic Tyberan, seems to be the guardian of this place, a banshee, though they know she can take multiple forms, seemingly including that of the rumored dragon that has been said to occupy this place. They may be one and the same. She was friendly enough, very agreeable, and seemingly on their team, but they were able to fairly easily suss out that that wasn't genuine.
But never stopped walking at us.
Yeah, never stopped. Well, that's not true. She did hit a point where she stopped and just stood in front of you, menacingly.
Yeah, and then Einon tried to, appeal to her better nature, and she's just like, oh, no, that sounds really important. And it was just like, oh, no.
Yeah, she's kind of a shithead. And as it became evident that this was going to lead to conflict, Einon discovered that he was actually unable to attack her mechanically due to how menacing her visage is and his lack of will stat. He couldn't hurt her until she attacks. In fact, as will be demonstrated, very few of your party have the will to be able to attack her before she attacks, and she hasn't attacked yet, but she did raise a bunch of undead to join her on her side of the fight.
Oh, I've got high enough will.
Yeah, you do. The problem is that you threw yourself into a magical well and were obliterated.
I mean, what is obliterated?
Like,
I still have thoughts.
Reduced to particles.
But that means you can make her breathe you in, and then you can just tear her apart from the inside. This is perfect.
Hell yeah,
Obviously, that was your this was your plan, right?
Are you going to Ant-Man her?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Kade was sort of atomized, sort of sent to a different plane. He exists in some form that is difficult for him to understand, but is still within this space and can perceive it and knows that he is not alone in this scenario. And that is where we left off. We will pick up, jumping just one beat ahead in the initiative order, to Maxine. So you have Tyberan bearing down. You have all of the undead that she has summoned. You've got Kade gone, having hurled himself into the well. What do you want to do?
Yeah, I think I can't even focus on Tyberan right now. I think watching Kade say to me, if I'm right, you can bring me back, and then just, fly into this well. I think as soon as he started running, I couldn't react fast enough, but I think I catch on a moment later and, chase after him. So he goes into the well, and I just go right up to the edge of it and just start yelling into it. Kade! Arkady, get back here right now! And I'm just searching for any sign of him in this well.
Okay, here's how I want to do this. Why don't you create an advantage with investigate, trying to beat a 5?
7.
Okay, so you are peering into this odd state ether within the well, and you don't see anything. You can kind of see through, it is translucent. You can kind of see through the hole at the bottom of the fortress, just leading out into empty sky, and he ain't there. You don't see him in this mass. It is as if he was destroyed or transported or something, but there are no parts of him left in this well to observe. What you do perceive, and I think this is aided by the fact that you are already privy to it in some capacity, and by the fact that you are this close to this, concentrate of ether. You sense an additional haunting presence in this space. Like the weight of that has increased. Mechanically, we're going to add an additional invoke to that aspect. So an additional invoke on Haunting Presence to represent Kade, making part of it up now.
Do I intuit that is because of Kade, or is what I think, oh no, Doris ate him and now she's stronger? Is it a different Haunting Presence, or is it the same thing, just stronger?
It is different. You can tell that it is not just a more dangerous version of the one you were already aware of. You get to a little bit of the Kade flavor. Gross, but that's the only way I can think to say that.
Maxine, what the fuck did he just do?
Einon, I don't know. He just jumped in. I don't know what to do. He said I could bring him back, but I don't know how. I think he's still here somehow. I don't know exactly where or how, but there's something here. He's still here. And I'm looking around the space around me. I think I look at Smee, hoping that maybe he senses him too.
Okay. Speaking of Smee and the remainder of the NPCs, who would you like to pass the initiative to at this point? All of you, the player characters, have gone. Tiberan has gone. None of the NPCs have gone. I
think Smee. I think I'm looking at him for some sort of recognition of what's happened to Kade.
Okay. So here's how I'm going to handle the NPCs in this. I'm going to kind of treat them as a mob. What's the word I'm looking for?
Mob.
Group.
A group, but I feel like there's a more game mechanics term for this.
A swarm.
That is escaping me. Kind of like a swarm, yeah. That they're all going to act in unison unless otherwise specified by you guys. So feel free to kind of call upon them at any point and they will get their own initiative round. But otherwise they're all going to kind of behave as one. But assuming that we are passing it to Smee individually, you look over at Smee and you see the light behind his eye rapidly dim, and Smee seems to fall inert.
Whoa.
His big round body just kind of thunks to the ground. All four of his legs are out at an even bend so that he is just kind of perfectly level. But it kind of looks like he just powers down all of a sudden. And I'm going to pass the initiative off to the rest of the NPCs. Roland turns to look at the undead that are now flanking you from the front side of the room. And he raises his axe as the rest of your squad gather weapons as well. Wazine turns into a crocodile and lands on the ground. And Roland calls back to you guys, "We can hold off the undead. You deal with her in the core." And he and the rest of the group rush forward. I'm going to roll some dice for him. Holy shit. I rolled the best roll.
All right.
With the NPCs in your party attacking as a squad using teamwork, they roll an 11 on their fight roll.
Wow.
Yeah, which is defended by a 2, with a 2 from the animated dead.
Damn.
Is that good?
So they're going to take a 9 shift hit.
And Roland's like, "Never mind, we got him. We're coming down."
So the corpses as a collective are going to take 1 sticky condition. They become enraged and 7 points of physical stress. You see your party leap into action and start fucking carving them up, doing a hell of a lot of damage. They take a bunch of them down pretty deftly. But initiative now must pass to the animated corpses, who are going to return fire. They attack with a 1. It is defended with a 5. So they land no blows on your compatriots. That brings us to the end of the initiative round, and since it is ending on the animated dead, they get to choose who goes next, and they're going to select Tiberan. Tiberan opens her mouth and lets loose a concentrated cacophony of screams that blasts all of your ears, everybody in this room. She is going to make a fight roll against all of you. Would you like to defend? And if so, what form does that take against a sonic attack? Kade, you're exempt. You don't have ears.
Oh.
Those are real quick. Good news, bad news.
And this just hurts. This isn't a mind effect or something, right?
Nope, it is just a combat roll. It's just a fight roll with flavor. and able to hit many of you at once.
She's like comics banshee.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only thing I can think of is to like use physique and like ball up, cover my ears, like shield myself from her.
I'm not sure that physique would apply.
Hmm.
Because generally, that would be if you could like flex your ears so good that they didn't let sound in.
Why is flexing my ears different from moving my arms?
Sort of a difference of endurance versus speed, I think. Like, I could see in athletics to defend against this because you are quick to lift your hands up and cover your ears. But physique, I think, let me look at physique in the book again. Let me look at using physique to defend. Yeah, so physique is not generally used to defend against attacks. You can use it to provide active opposition to someone else's movement, provided you're in a small enough space that you can use your body to block access. Or you might also interpose something heavy and brace it to stop someone from getting through. Like, those are the examples of how you could use it to defend. And that seems on a different path to me than covering your ears.
So it's like a strength versus movement kind of thing.
Yes.
Well, why did I take physique then?
Listen, that's why I dropped it and took athletics, because I had the same thought.
Yeah, it's hard to defend with. It's good to do more, like, active tasks with. It's good for overcoming things and creating advantages, but it's not so good for defense.
I think I'm just clapping my hands over my ears.
Okay.
Yeah, same.
Okay.
3.
2.
She got a mere 2 on this fight roll. I'm going to have to spend some points to try and bump that up, though.
No.
The big scary banshee's first attack can't fail due to an impotent die roll.
Okay.
Well, I mean, it might still, but I'm at least going to make you guys burn some resources, too.
Have you tried using your little blue die to help with that impotent die roll?
Ah.
If your die rolls last more than 4 hours.
You might be playing a D20 system.
So I'm going to spend a point to invoke Fey Guardian Banshee. This is what she does to bump her up to a 4, and I'll hold there for the moment.
I think I'm going to let this one go.
Okay.
I'm going to use a stunt.
Okay.
I'm going to go with one of my first ones, Earth Invocation. You gather ether about yourself, illuminating your aura and making yourself stronger, faster for a time. But this comes at a cost of physical exhaustion or hunger. You mark a sticky condition to gain +4 to a physical action.
Okay. So that'll bump you up to a 6. Einon remains at a 3. The NPCs collectively rolled a 4. So Einon, you're going to take just a 1 shift hit.
I am not. Bulwark. Once per conflict, reduce the damage of a hit by 1.
Okay.
And I'm going to take Exhausted as my sticky condition.
All right. So everybody is quick to cover their ears as you hear her inhale sharply. Some of you a little bit faster than others. Some of you almost catch the brunt of this, but everybody endures pretty well. Maxine, it takes a little bit out of you, but the rest of the squad, you are quick enough on the draw. And you hear that scream kind of taper off. You know at what point you are free to uncover your ears. And her menacing visage is broken. She is now attacked in this round. So regardless of your will, you are allowed to attack back. I'm going to pass the initiative to Einon.
I think as I'm like crouching and bracing for this, I'm looking back and I'm seeing that my team is like thrashing those undead and that everybody more or less braced through this initial attack from her. And as I look back to her, I think I smile and just slowly stand with my bow and knock another arrow. Darling, you had me worried at first, but so far you're not really representing a defender of this place. That face was awfully scary, but now it just looks fucking shootable. And I'm going to take a shot.
Okay. Give me a shoot roll.
Roll Provoke.
She is going to defend with athletics.
9.
That was about the worst roll I could have. I rolled a -3. She got a 1 total.
Oof.
Wow.
I'm going to spend a fate point to re-roll this.
You don't want to do an 8 shift hit?
Nope. I'm going to invoke Fey Guardian Banshee again and re-roll these dice. Still a -1. Good
Yeah.
God. So she gets a 3 in defense. So she's going to take a 6 shift hit. That arrow punches through her. Mechanically, she takes all of this in the form of physical stress. Who do you want to go next?
All right, Master Atwater, I don't know what you're up to, but I hope it's something helpful.
Kade.
Okay. So I'm in the space.
Yeah. So I'm going to use terms like see and hear
Yeah.
to represent what you sense. They're not accurate, but like you are able to perceive what's going on in here all around and within. What do you want to do?
Would it be feasible to say I am touching the space?
In a sense, why?
I would like to use my stunt, Ether Conduit, and charge myself with ether and activate everything that runs on ether that I'm touching.
Okay.
Mostly Smee, but then anything else that happens to be in the castle.
Is there... Read me the stunt.
Yeah. Once per scene, you can spend a fate point to harness the latent ether within the planet, placing the boost ether charged on you. While you are ether charged, your physical touch delivers ether power as if powered by a movement core.
Fuck me running. All right. That's very good.
Devil's in the details.
You siphon ether like off of the well. To your senses, you can kind of see it like particulate and like flow out of the well and just kind of spread throughout the entire room. And you feel it like charging your particles. And you see Smee fire back up. You see the light behind his eye start to glow again. You see him stand back up on his feet. I think you even see a little bit of like Speed Force lightning around him. Like, you know, he's kind of overclocked right now. I think additionally, because you are kind of in contact with this whole place right now, you feel something that is like trying to spin up and failing somewhere else in this fortress. It feels large. It feels familiar.
Yeah.
You think that it's the movement core. You know that thing is 100% offline. Somewhere in here, you are making contact with it, and it's trying, but it's not enough.
I think what's really interesting is that when, like, Smee rouses and that light glows, it starts to play the ads across the screen. So you said I'm not alone in this odd sense of perception. Can I try to get a ping on what or how, or just I'd like to do a vibe check of the other presence in the room.
That's quite feasible, but you have taken your action on this round.
Okay.
So who would you like to pass the initiative to?
I think to Smee, just because I heard like the kerfuffle, like, oh my gosh, what happened? Oh, Smee. And I'm hoping that will be enough of a sign.
Okay. Are you trying to call Smee to any one particular course of action, or are we just kind of keeping him grouped in with the rest of the NPCs and they'll take their turn to fight off the undead?
I think he moves to defend Maxine.
Okay. So Maxine and Einon, as quickly as he sputtered out, you see Smee come back too. You see the light behind his eye glow again. He stands to his feet and he skitters over to take up position next to Maxine.
Oh, well, asked and answered, I suppose.
I look at Smee and I see that he's all like supercharged. And I think I still just kind of look around in the air. Kade? Okay, we're all here.
And I'm going to pass it to Maxine.
I would like to use a stunt.
Okay.
I'm going to go with See the Cracks. When you use Investigate to create a weak spot or similar advantage on someone, the first player to invoke that aspect can inflict an additional 2-shift hit. So I'm just looking at her and trying to figure out, like, how do we deal with this?
All right, why don't you roll to create an advantage trying to beat a 4?
6.
Okay, so what you observe is that although her form is seemingly corporeal, there is a flux to it, just kind of a constant, almost imperceptible shift. This is actually going to reveal an aspect, her trouble. She is a being of pure ether.
Oh.
So as such, she is kind of constantly like something that is having to keep it together, something that is having to willfully adopt a form. And there is some measure of effort to that and some measure of variance, you know, like how an LED light is technically constantly blinking on and off, but you can't perceive it. She's kind of constantly maintaining a form or maintaining a shift to keep her form.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Okay, I think I'm going to yell out to Sevna. Sevna, I think we could use your help over here.
She turns away from one of the undead that she is squaring up at. What do you need?
I want to head over to Einon as she joins. She's strong, but she's made completely out of ether, so holding any form, even though she can take multiple, it takes effort. So I think Einon's going to need your help. And I look at Einon. I'm going to go see if I can help Kade.
What do you mean, go see?
There's more to this place. I don't know where he is, but he had a reason.
You're not jumping in that fucking thing, are you?
No. I'm just going to see if there's something else. If he's affecting Smee, he could be affecting anything.
All right, fair. I was just worried I was going to have to try to put you both back together.
No, gosh, no, I'm...
No, God, that'd be a death wish. Are you kidding me?
No.
Oh, no, what a dumb idea.
Absolutely not. I have no idea what would happen to me if I would go in there.
I appreciate that.
If I'm able to bring him back, I'm going to kill him.
And I'm just prepping more arrows. I'm just ready to be taking as many shots as fast as I can as I'm like ducking and weaving here.
Okay.
And I'm going to climb on top of Smee and kind of steer him further on into the fortress. And I will pass it to Sevna.
Okay. Einon, you see Sevna take a moment to like scrutinize Tiberan. You see the ether flicker behind her eyes. Like you recognize the tells of her about to cast a curse, but it seems like she's trying to weigh whether that's gonna make any difference on Tiberan. And she seems to shake her head and decide that she thinks that's a no-go. And she raises her hands instead and casts...
In defeat.
Surrender.
I give up.
Hey, anybody looking for an ally?
Yes! Help us!
Hey, you seem strong.
Damn it.
Maybe you can help me. She's just always looking for that next sexiest vine to jump to. No, she raises her hands and ether collects at her fingertips and she levies this blast of kind of like raw, shapeless ether in Tiberan's direction. And it is no good. As it sails through the air, Tiberan kind of very casually like pitches her body to the side, tilts her right shoulder out of the way, and that blast just flies wide of her. And Sevna curses herself under her breath. She's going to pass it to the remainder of the NPCs.
Do we have any sense by how much she missed by?
Sevna got a 3 on her fight. Tiberan got a 5 on her defense.
Oh, okay.
That's fair. I suppose you guys could be assisting. I should give you those numbers so that if you want to invoke anything, you can. Einon, you are positioned. Do you want to? Would you want to? I mean, 1 invoke would get her to a tie. 2 invokes could get her to actually doing some damage.
I'm not sure it's quite worth it in this moment. If it would be a meaningful amount of damage, I'd almost be more inclined to save my points to stack up a bigger hit.
Okay. All right, she's going to pass it to the rest of the NPCs then to fight some undead. So they get a 7 on their fight roll. Oof, and the one instance where it's great for you guys that I roll like dog shit. Against a 0 defense. Man, it's a good thing you guys brought 1 million NPCs with you to help fight this fight.
Did you just soundly solve your zombie puzzle?
Yeah, they've got 3 points of physical stress left to take, and 1 lasting condition to represent the other 4. All told, that is 7. So they take every bit of damage they have left to take, and their lasting condition is called dead, dead, dead. So you watch your group just carve through the remainder of them, and before they get a chance to return fire, essentially, you're just hearing swords and shields and armor clatter to the ground one by one until there is no more. There is no more undead rumblings and moanings. There is no more exchange of weaponry. Just quiet on the rear front.
I had a moment where I was like, oh, glad that's taken care of. And then I just realized they're still undead. She can do this again.
Right.
With no undead left to pass the initiative to, the NPCs are going to pass it back to the top of the next round. Let's go with Maxine.
As I ride Smee out of this room, I want to call over, Wazine, you coming?
His big crocodile head turns around with just a zombie arm in the teeth. His maw is covered in blood and viscera.
From what?
From the undead.
They got their blood back? I thought they were just Lecklevians.
Yeah, no, they got they got their blood back.
They just had blood bags.
Yeah, they all When they woke up, they all grabbed a flask of blood and drank it so that there would be a
It'd be
visual
spooky.
tell. So that there would be a visual tell when they were below half hit points.
Blood from what? Oh, that's right. Armless is dead.
Oh, he's gone. Oh,
yeah,
man.
Wazine accidentally ate him.
Oh, God.
That crocodile starts running in your direction and shifts back into the little fey boy and hops astride Smee with you.
Okay, pal. We're looking for some intense signs of ether. Not from the well that was in the other room, but something that Kade might be affecting in here. I know you've got a good nose, so see if you can help me figure it out.
Okay. Are you just like trying to recruit him to teamwork with you?
Yeah.
Okay. And what are you looking for?
I wish I knew. I'm just, like I said, I assume Kade had a reason for what he did, and I am looking for any indication of what that might be.
Okay. I kind of feel like this is a notice since it's kind of directionless. Like you are not, but you are still following a clue given to you by somebody. So it might still be an investigate. I don't know. What do you guys think?
When the ether core is trying to like spin up, but it can't because it's broken, is it making any noise? Are there pieces that are moving? Like, is it a investigate because she's like, oh, I can hear some humming, or there's like a clanking sound that wasn't here before as something tries to work, or
That kind of sounds more like a defensive notice to me.
oh, yeah.
What do you hear? What do you pick up on?
Yeah, because notice is supposed to be a little more passive.
Yeah.
Notice is kind of taking in without scrutinizing, you know.
Yeah.
Let's do an overcome with notice.
Could it be lore since I'm specifically looking for something with ether?
I think you'd have to reframe this. Like you are trying to observe, so a notice or an investigate is going to take precedence over a lore. If you were reframing this as somehow consulting knowledge that you have, or I mean, maybe even if you were trying to actually like tap the ether, it might still be a notice because your objective is to observe and find. Wazine does actually have fucking fantastic notice, though, so if you want to stick with that.
I think I have to stick with that. I can't really justify doing this a different way because that's what I'm doing.
Okay, what's your notice?
3?
Okay, Wazine's got you beat, so he's going to roll.
Damn.
Wow.
And he'll take your +1. You shouldn't have let me roll this.
Oh, yeah. We forgot about the more important factor here.
What do you get?
You got a 4, and I didn't set a target number before I rolled the dice.
I'm pretty sure you said a 2. I think you said, or 1. Wasn't it 1? I think it was
Negative
1.
Fuck. I'm killing myself out here. I feel that for the sake of fairness, I have to set a target number and then re-roll these dice.
Okay.
Let's say we're going for a 4. This seems like it would be of great difficulty trying in the midst of all this battle and in this unfamiliar place to pick up signs. A 4 again.
Okay.
Do you want to invoke anything to bump this to a success instead of a tie?
I will use that fresh invoke from Haunting Presence.
Okay. That will bump this up to a 6, which is a success. So, Wazine is weirdly sniffing the air as you are looking and listening. And with your incredible senses combined, you do pick up on a very faint clanking sound. You can actually feel it to some degree, reverberating. It's hard to separate from all the other motion happening in this room, but you harness it. You can feel this just rhythmic, repeated thunk, and it feels like it is coming from below you, which you know that there is not much below you. So it can't be too awful far. But you can see that underneath the doorway that Tiberan came out of on that second floor balcony, there is sort of an identical doorway directly underneath it, leading around a blind corner that you suspect might lead to a stairwell down.
Okay, so in initiative order, was that me passing my turn to Wazine since he's the one that rolled the teamwork? Or is that my move?
Yeah, no, let's say that you kind of gave that to Wazine. You didn't take your action. He takes his, he kicks it back to you.
All right, I'm heading for that door.
Okay. You, Wazine, and Smee mostly Smee, start scurrying towards that doorway. I am going to need an athletics roll, though, from you, because you are going to be changing zones here. You're going to be changing areas, and you need to succeed at a roll to escape the one in which you're fighting and get to the next. I am going to need an athletics roll from you, though, because you are trying to change zones, and the one you're in is very much endangered by Tyberan. She is kind of not directly between you and where you're going, but she could intercede if she desired. So why don't you roll to overcome with athletics, trying to beat a 4.
Oh, boy.
You got this.
I do not have athletics, so this will be a straight roll.
You got it. This is perfect.
Wazine has athletics. Take a +1 from his teamwork.
4!
No
Hey.
way.
I rolled a 3!
All right.
All right. Smee starts booking it, and you see Tyberan's head turn. Her gaze locks onto you, and she starts thundering in your direction. Again, she is just gigantic. Her strides are enormous. She covers a lot of ground in a little time. But you were far enough away, you caught her off guard enough that you reach that doorway before she does, round the corner, and you can see just immediately to your left a stairwell leading down. That is a tight squeeze for Smee, but it is doable.
I look at the staircase and just say out loud, "All right, Kade, I've got your back." And I'll pass it to Kade.
Okay?
So this other presence.
Yes.
Something I can sense, something I can feel, something perceived in other ways.
Yes. I mean, you are aware of this other presence. You are aware that you are not alone. Are you trying to, suss out further detail on it? Is that what you're going for?
Yeah, I think so, because what I want to know is if we're occupying the same space, like two gases in a room, or if one of us is denser than the other, so we're not occupying the same space. So yeah, what's going on here?
Okay, yeah, why don't you overcome with investigate? This is going to be contested.
Ooh. 4.
Okay, the counter stealth roll was only a 3, so you are successful. So you pick up the details of this other presence. You can tell that it is Yvain, that she is in the same condition as you, occupying the same space. And it is kind of just like two gases occupying a room. You are kind of entangled in a sense. It doesn't seem like one of you inherently has power over the other, or mass or authority or anything. But you know that you have had the wherewithal to act thus far. You believe she could as well. So the balance could shift if either of the two of you started pushing. It seems like right now, though, she is still trying to avoid notice.
Can I do anything with that knowledge? Or was discovering that my turn?
What do you want to do?
I want to try to do what you just said, change that balance and see if I can force her out, force her somewhere.
Okay. Where? Or what? Give me a little more detail on what you want the outcome of this to be.
Yeah, so my initial thought is I don't know how much she knows about ether cores, but I know how much Kade knows, and it's a lot. And I remember early on we discussed that, some of these crystals and things that we were replacing, it was like they were full, like it was taking the impurities out of the ether and stuff. I want to try to force her into this ether core's filter.
Okay.
It's I'm thinking of solidifying myself some to
You're trying
force
to
her into a space.
Reposition her.
Yeah.
Okay. I think you can try this now. I think this is going to take the form of a lore roll. It's going to be contested again.
Sure.
And it is going to reveal to her definitively that she is no longer hidden.
Yeah.
With whatever results that may entail.
Totally fair.
Okay. Give me a lore roll.
Oh, damn, dude.
8.
Okay, well,
Whoa.
it's against her 1
What did she defend with?
lore. So you start shifting the balance within this structure, and you can kind of feel that she is trying to withdraw and turn the corners that you're not occupying. She's trying to stay out of your zone. She's trying to go unnoticed, but you start pushing her forward, or pushing her downward rather, until it becomes undeniable that this is deliberate. There's no way she doesn't realize that you are doing this on purpose, but you are doing it successfully. You start to drive her chunk of this presence down to the lower levels of the fortress and down towards the movement core. Who do you want to pass it to?
I think it would be her. It only makes sense.
You hear her, within your own mind. You hear Yvain's voice. "You fool! She will kill all of us. If you continue on this course of action, your only hope of survival is to leave me here. She cannot be defeated. She cannot be felled. All of you will fall."
Does this sound like the rantings of a mad person as previously described? Does it sound reasonable? Does it?
Give me an empathy roll. I don't think this is exactly contested. Say you're trying to beat a 3.
Mm-hmm. Starting off at a -2.
Ooh.
I'm going to invoke Ether Connects All Things to reroll.
Okay. Spend your point.
Oof.
Oh, no. Is it happening again?
It is.
Oh.
-2.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I got nothing else I can do to help with this.
Okay. I'm trying to think, given everybody's positioning and circumstance, if or how anybody else could help.
I don't even understand that he exists.
Can I spend a fate point to help out?
What are you invoking?
I think Ether concedes nothing without sacrifice, just that she has given herself over to Ether, like pure Ether completely. So she's just a little more transparent, and her state of mind, for lack of a better term, is easier for Kade to pick up on.
Okay. I assume this would be towards another reroll attempt?
Yeah.
We know how this ends.
I just said I've got your back,
Yeah.
so.
A 0.
And what are we trying to hit again?
A 3.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
This is, listen, I know that I shouldn't even talk right now.
But by God, I'm gonna.
We're in the end game. This is the loosest possible thing, but here we go. She has just said to him, she is unbeatable, Tiberan, and it's an unwinnable fight, and blah, blah, blah. She's on the back foot, and Kade, being connected to all of this, has to be at least somewhat aware of the positioning right now that we're at least perceivably kicking her ass a little bit. Like, her zombies just got thrashed. I've put a few arrows in her. She's turned and is running away from me right now. The boogeyman is literally cackling with glee on the attack of this defender, literally opposing exactly what Doris is babbling about right now.
I accept largely because I want to watch Rev roll these dice.
Listen, I'm going to spend my last point because I noticed what's out of place.
Okay.
So that gets me to a 4.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. That works.
Yes. I can't believe you took that.
It's a story-wise,
I
it's
like
a very
it.
good point.
Oh, well, thank you.
Your explanation, awful, but
Yeah. I'm not with him. He's not speaking for both of us.
oh no.
All right. So to answer your question, yes, it kind of seems like the ravings of a lunatic. Like it seems like she believes what she's saying, but it is stemming from a place of fear and paranoia, and it is stemming from a plan she already has that she wants to preserve, that you are throwing a wrench into. Like she seems to genuinely believe in that plan and that it is the move. Part of this is certainly just that she doesn't want that fucked with.
Sorry, I'm not buying it. You utilize the ether, but me, I've learned to speak to it, and I continue to push her towards the filter.
Okay, she is going to at last take her action.
Oh, no.
To try and buffer you back.
Oh.
So she's going to roll a lore. You can contest with yours to see who controls the zone. She got a 4.
I got a 2.
Okay.
Can I ask you a question real quick before you describe what happens next?
Before you murder me.
Yeah.
No.
So before I was successful by a spread of 6, what does that translate to versus her now? You know what I mean? Like, what is that interplay?
This isn't really like a shift hits combat thing. So it's kind of like you moving her a zone and her moving a zone back.
Okay, so
like
no matter what the success level, it's the same result?
In this course of action, yes.
Okay.
Like
yeah,
just-
because then you'd spend fate points to see who comes out on top. It's not necessarily the number, but it's whoever comes out on top rules the zone.
Yeah, were this a damage dealing, a fight roll, or a shoot roll or something, the degree affects how many shifts the hit is, affects how many conditions and shit they take. But when we're just kind of talking overcoming actions, it's just, did you succeed or did they succeed?
Okay. And so there's no, when you overcome and beat with like a certain thing, you don't get any kind of a boost or an invoke, or isn't there like an additional reward for succeeding so high?
Succeeding with style, yes, gets you a boost. Did you succeed with style?
I did. I succeeded by 6. And that's why I'm asking, because I could utilize it now to tie her.
7.
Oh, I succeeded by 7.
Yeah, you can utilize a boost.
Okay.
What are you calling it?
I'm calling it gas with mass.
I'll hear no other options.
Yeah.
That's it. That's canon.
Which would bring me to a tie.
Okay. So she gets what she wants at a minor cost, or she gets a lesser version. I'm going to say then that she gets what she wants at a minor cost.
Okay.
I'm going to mark a sticky condition for her. She becomes overzealous, but she does buffet you back. She retains position within the main chamber, within the great hall of the main floor here.
Okay.
All right, so I'm going to pass it to Tiberan. She reaches that doorway that Smee and Maxine and Wazine have just passed through. And, you know, she's gigantic. Like, it would be a duck through the doorway. She kind of, like, plants a hand on the top of it, like, leaning down to peek around the corner into that staircase. And she looks back and sees that all of her undead are re-dead, and the rest of your squad is rushing forward towards Einon and Sevna to assist in the fight. And Einon, she specifically looks at you. She just looks fucking furious. You think I'm not putting up enough of a fight? I haven't begun to fight. And you all see her form start to shift. The ether that makes her up adopts a less corporeal form. It becomes that sort of in-between state like what's in the well, and you see it swelling and elongating, taking the form of sturdy legs and long wings and an extended neck with a serpentine head. And, you know, it's just sort of that, like, Sailor Moon glowing, like you can see the silhouette of this form. And Kade, you hear Yvain say, "Finally." And you feel all of that presence of her in this space almost like sink out of it towards that shifting form. The rest of you see just a tinge of a different color, a different hue that she takes. A little bit of this, like, crackle of ether lightning runs over that form before it solidifies into the shape of an enormous dragon.
Now it's a fight. Gimbal, play the music.
That's where we'll end it. We'll get serious again next time. Fuck it. Thank you, everybody, for joining us for another episode of The Crit Show. If you're interested in more information about Clockwinders or Fate as a system, check out the episode description. You should also visit our Patreon at patreon.com/The Crit Show. Entire completed shows, back to front, entire small campaigns, additional
back.
bonus content, front to back to front, toe to tip, nuts to butts. And as always, tune in again next time to discover what fate our heroes will befall at the hands?
That's the name of the game.
Oh,
What?
of the Ether Dragon. Everybody say bye.
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 The Crit Show is a Critshow Studios production, edited and produced by Brandon Wentz, with music by Jake Purley. You can find more information about us at thecritshowpodcast.com. To keep up to date with upcoming live shows, contests, and other special events, follow us at The Crit Show on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. For even more weekly content, join us at patreon.com/thecritShow.